Hello and welcome to Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I am Elvis, your host, and I'm here to let you know that this is a not safe for work podcast. We are teachers at the end of the week and really the end of our ropes, and we'd like to be able to talk honestly and openly about education without having to worry about losing our jobs. So we'll be using pseudonyms throughout the podcast. I'd like to give a big shout out to all of our Patreon patrons who support us. For only $5 a month, you could get your name listed and read here, and you get access to over 100 pieces of video content. Just yesterday, we released a huge chunk of unreleased footage, and it's pretty amusing, and I think you would love it. So if you want to do that, go to Patreon and sign up, and then you get your name read like these beautiful people. A big thank you to M. Lozier, Justin M., Jessica C., Inga, Kaylee, Terry J., Tracy B., Miss Wonderstats, Quentin P., Mistress Mischief, Natasha S., Miss Anthropy, Princess Buttercup, Dragon Lady, Helena C., Aaron B., Stephanie X., Texas Teacher Kristen, James and Allie J., Samantha D., Lisa C., Rachel, Genie, Exhausted Band Director, Jessica A., Swivel F. Owners, Amanda F., Ariana L., Physics Runner, Michael M., Aldrich T., La Scorpionita, Britt M., Teresa H., Biker Teach, Christina B., Jason F., Sarah B., Regina S., Josie S., Sam B., Mary E., Kristen W., Vanessa J., Mary C., RJ R., Johanna H., Irma, Nimi, and Sarah, and a big thank you to all of them and for you for listening. So my friends, we have a couple things you can do to support the podcast. If you love us because you think we're amazing and charming and we think like you, then you can, join the Patreon. You could support our sponsor, Ludlam Dramatics. That's right, Ludlam Dramatics. If you are a theater teacher or no one in your building, go to Ludlam Dramatics and you can get all kinds of resources for your theater classroom, or even if you're just like a history teacher being forced to do a UIL play, do it. Go to ludlamdramatics.com. They can help you out. The other way you can support us is just find like 2 or 3 people in your building. Tell them something you enjoyed about the podcast. Just say, hey, I heard this podcast. It had this thing in it. That would do so much for us, and we would appreciate it. All right, my friends, this is an exciting episode. It was done virtually. I haven't done one of these in a while because I got so burned out on virtual stuff. But it's myself, it's Shirley Temper, it's Miss Sparkles, it's Bunny O'Hare, and it is wonderful. I hope you guys enjoy it. Here we go, episode 216. Cheers! Ladies, what we've been doing, I don't know if you've listened to any episodes in a while, but to start with, we've been chanting balls. Like balls, 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 almost like an orchestra tuning up. And so if you could join with me and just kind of start just chanting balls, it's like an orchestra warming up, and then we'll stop, and then we'll start the show. Does that sound all right? You with me, Sparkles?
Yes.
All right. So here we go. Balls.
Balls.
Balls. Balls. Balls. Balls. Oh, look who just made it. Perfect timing. Woohoo.
It's because we were chanting balls.
Balls, balls, balls. All right. Well, welcome to Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I am Elvis, your host, and today I am joined by Miss Shirley Temper.
I lived in New York, Troy. I know what a bagel is.
I like Britta. She Britta's things up. And also with us today is Miss Sparkles.
Hey, y'all.
And last but not least, she managed to make it. I had almost written her off because I figured she was having all the things going on. Miss Bunny O'Hare!
Troy and Abed in the morning, nights.
In the morning. Good call. Well, hello, my friends. I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm trying to get like the local group together for something, but I realized I hadn't talked to Sparkles in a while, and I had Shirley Temper, and I had such a wonderful time chatting with her. What was that, like 3 weeks ago? It was almost a month ago. My God. And so I was like, I want to get this group together again. And so I was kind enough, and Bunny was able to make it and join us. And so we get to talk today, and I'm so happy. So for all of my patrons who are out there, or people who are curious about the Patreon, if you want to know what's been going on in Shirley Temper's life or Miss Sparkle's life, they both have interviews that are up on the Patreon right now that just tells you about their lives. And it's exciting, isn't it, Shirley?
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. So we're just going to go ahead and dive right into it. And by dive right into it means I got to get my laptop out because I've been cooking all the things all day. So, my friends, this one comes from Wee Lisi on Reddit. And she says, told a kid his parents must not have raised him right. Now I'm a little worried about the conference. Kid in my class is horrible. Out of 130, he is the most disruptive. Anytime you correct him, it's, no, I didn't, or, well, how come you don't get on to them for doing it? He was sent off team Monday for behavior. Didn't do his work, so then in-school suspension yesterday. He was so bad, he got sent out of there into the hallway by the ISS teacher. He got sent back to me for bus dismissal. Outside my room, he's arguing with a neighboring teacher. I step out there and didn't do anything. Finally, I tell him, your parents must not have raised you right for you to be 12 and talk to me like you're a grown man. He immediately gets louder. You can't talk about my parents like that, and continues yelling. Another teacher across the hall tells him to step into her room. I know I shouldn't have said that. I was pissed and made a mistake. Now we've got a parent conference, and I'm wondering how to approach it. I called home right before Christmas about similar behavior and him screaming fat ass at a kid across the room. Typically, I'm good with documentation, but this time I realize I'm not. How would you handle this situation? Ladies, who would like to go first?
I don't know, man. You kind of screwed up there.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but
yeah,
but you done fucked up, Ron.
Yeah, you're gonna have to take your medicine there. You might have to fall on your sword.
Yeah.
No, for that one, what I can tell you is yeah, that's right. That's right, Sparkle Dog too. I mean, you definitely fucked up by saying anything about a kid's parents. Now, number one, you were probably right. His parents are probably dropping the ball left and right for him to behave and be so like crazy and disrespectful and feel that that's okay to talk to people like that. But unfortunately, we're not allowed to call things out like that because sometimes there's a lot of situations that we are not aware of for why the kid acts like that. Maybe the parents are working 2 or 3 jobs and are never home, and so the kid's raising himself off TikTok videos. Who knows? But yeah, this one, you can't bring up a kid's parents. You just can't, especially in that way. Yeah. So I would approach I was really stressed out and I'm so sorry, but I would wait to hear what the parents say to me first before. I would not lead with that. Sparkles, what about you? What would you think? How would you handle this?
So I actually disagree. I always lead with the apology when a parent was mad. That's what I used to do because it gets the parent on your side right away. It disarms them. They're like, okay, I got what I came here for, and it makes them less likely to complain. I would immediately lead with the apology and say, my what I said was wrong, and I'm really hoping we can work together to find a solution to improve my relationship with your son, even if you don't mean that. Because it makes parents feel good.
I always like to sit back and hear what they say first. Just because I really hate confrontation. And I tend to shut down in situations like that. I agree with you, Sparkles. I think it is best to lead with an apology. It is very disarming. But I think that person's just going to have to fall on their sword. I also wonder how old they are, because I don't feel like that's something that I feel like they might be perhaps a boomer.
That's not a veteran teacher thing to say. No. Or you think it's someone older who would say that?
I think it's someone older.
Do you? I feel like it feels like a newbie.
I feel like it's a newbie mistake. But I mean, I could also see that maybe if you were a sub and coming in.
Yeah.
Or maybe a teacher who was alternatively certified, just kind of.
Yeah, it feels like your parents didn't raise you right. Sparkles, do you call your puppies your fur babies?
I guess so. I mean, I am their mom, and Mr. Sparkles is their dad.
So baby Sparkles is your skin baby.
Yes. Yes, baby Sparkles is the skin baby.
That's disturbing.
I like to call the temper tantrums the skin babies, and people really don't think it's funny.
Yeah, no,
I
I mean,
think it's hilarious.
Me too.
people will get a kick out of like loin fruit. Start
Are you
calling them
churning
skin babies.
butter?
Yeah, what are you doing?
I'm
You were
masturbating. Leave me alone.
churning. It's very
Gross.
metal. Is it a metal penis?
No, I had this right, and I thought while I was waiting, I would just.
You're a
rinse it off.
cyborg now? Like what?
Was it a terrible accident?
Oh, you guys are horrible to me for making unprofessional noises during a podcast. And I was trying to clean up this grate that I use for smoking meats, and my smoker's like, I'll just rinse and scrub it. How loud it can be. But apparently it
I
can be
smoked
very
your
loud.
mom's meat.
Yeah, you
Oh.
That's what she said.
did. Bunny, are you with us?
Yeah.
I think so. Am I
She's
with you?
here.
Yay!
Okay.
So, Bunny, did you hear what we had said before about the
I
teacher
did.
situation? What's your take on this from start to finish? If this was you and you had made this mistake, how would you deal with it? And also, what do you think this person's situation might be? I don't know. I want to hear your take.
I'm having a hard time thinking of a way to. I was trying to think of a way, like, is there a way to spin that as like intended as a compliment? Like, I bet your mama raised you better than this. Like, your mom. I don't know.
bet your parents are proud.
No, or like I know your mama taught you better than that. Why aren't you acting like it? Kind of thing. Like trying to find. Anyway, but I don't know. That's going to be a hard one to weasel out of.
Yeah, I feel like someone used their inside or outside voice when they should have used their inside voice. Because, I mean, I've definitely thought things like that. But
Oh, for sure.
We all have. We think it. We just don't say it.
That stays inside the brain. It does not come out of the mouth.
Or you speak in a language you know that child doesn't speak, and you mutter it under your breath.
Ooh, or that.
I don't know, Bunny, if you were in this situation, although, how would you handle talking to the parents if you had said something like this? Not that you ever would, of course.
Oh Lord, I think owning up to it and just honestly saying it was the end of the day. We were both tired. We were both stressed out. However, as the adult, I should have held my tongue better than that.
Yeah, you just called me a fat fucking bitch or something, and
You should just be like, from the bottom of my heart, my bad.
Sorry. I like that. That's the way to handle it from now
My
on.
dudes. Yeah.
My bad. I thought that was okay. Am I wrong? Sorry.
We don't say things like that?
Oops.
Are we not being honest? Like, I thought we were just being really honest here.
Honesty is the best policy, right?
I mean, they say that until they're in trouble. So,
Love to say, like, your kid has done so much worse, but then again, we're supposed to be the adults in the room. That's what they pay us for, is to be the adults in the room. So.
Well, maybe if they paid us more, we wouldn't keep our mouths shut better.
Yeah. If you don't want me to tell your kids like a waste of sperm and egg, then, like the best part of you was the sock the night before. Who knows?
Or your mom should have swallowed.
Yeah.
Pay me more money. I don't have to say those things.
I can keep my mouth shut. I'll sign an NDA.
Yeah,
it's
right?
a lot easier to teach when you're being well paid, because then you're like, well, at least I can go get my nails done after school, or at least I've got this fancy trip to the Bahamas coming up. But yeah, we don't really have that as teachers very often. I mean, some people do, and you can work a budget, blah, blah, blah. But yeah. Yeah. Well, let's move on to another one. Let's go. Beep, 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 beep,
do
boop,
Y'all,
boop.
babies need so many items.
A lot of them you don't need.
I will tell you a random thing that I got with the first temper tantrum that I bought a second time is a wiper warmer. I think I told Bunny about that. That thing is a lifesaver. A wiper warmer, because them wipes is ice cold. It keeps them warm, but they're great for like runny noses and poops and messy faces and messy hands. And we used that thing up until the first one was like 3, and then it immediately went to the little one. Those things,
Yeah.
and they're cheap. They're not expensive. They're great.
Sounds like good for life. You have to get one. All right. Oh, shit. The dog just needs to come in. Hold on. Hiker, you suck. Why can't we just do a podcast? Why are you so horrible?
Apparently,
Nice to that baby.
All right. This one comes from the teacher on the Reddit, Jumpin'. And she says, my new favorite question, does this consequence feel unexpected or just frustrating? Kids have been a mess during library, so I told them you have reading time at the end of library. If you don't use that time for reading or instead socializing and messing around, etc., you'll use your game time tomorrow to read. Had a group of 4 that continued to fuck around, running around the library, talking to each other with a book in front of them, closed and upside down, mind you. And I even gave them reminders of the expectations and consequences. After library, I let them know, you read not a word during reading time, so you'll need to read during game time, and they agreed. Yesterday, lo and behold, game time rolls around, and I asked them to grab books to read. I got, but I didn't do anything wrong. Why? What did I do? So I calmly asked, is this consequence unexpected and surprising, or is it frustrating? And they were speechless. They tried to argue, and they realized it was futile, groaned, and grabbed their books. I'm realizing that when it comes time to uphold a clearly stated consequence, the argument and pushback can be directly named as frustration. I don't need to sit and re-explain why they need to read during game time. They know, and they're more than welcome, however, to be frustrated when they have to read. I like this. I like this a lot. Bunny, this seems like something I could hear you using. What's your take on this?
I like it as well. Like, it comes down to helping the students. It's that whole like emotional intelligence and being able to identify and name what you're feeling. Like, the kids are, so many times they interpret something as being, unfair when really it's just that they don't like it.
Yeah.
And so it comes back to being able to, help them identify what they are experiencing and put a name to it that's more accurate than just this sucks.
Yeah. I like it a lot. Miss Sparkles, have you ever used anything like this, or do you have something like this that you've used?
I have not, but now I'm like storing that in the memory banks for baby Sparkles, because I feel like that'll come in handy at some point. Raising a child.
Yes, it will.
Like, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense. And I agree with what Bunny was saying. A lot of kids don't like being, nobody likes to be punished. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
They say, oh, hey. That's a different context. They say that it's unfair, but yeah, what they really mean is like, I'm frustrated, I'm upset, I'm facing a consequence for my own actions, blah, blah, blah.
This is one of those that you could use really well on a child, but if you ever used it on an adult or like a spouse or a partner, you would probably get the death glare and maybe kicked in the nuts. Because I can think of times when I was married where I could have used this like, hey, you didn't do blah, 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 and now you're having repercussions from it. Does this feel unexpected, or are you just frustrated?
No, with adults, we use the phrase, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Fuck around and find out.
I was going to say, and or fuck around and find out.
I think this is a good way to explain it. Shirley?
I agree. Natural consequence of action. And yeah, I have to do this. I'm going to have a bunch of people really unhappy because, well, I did. We did a midterm project in my classes, and it was an independent project, and this generation doesn't like to do independent projects, and they're gonna have to suck it up because life is an independent project. And tons of them, their grades tanked, and they came back and they're like, is there anything I could do? And I was like, well, you could have done your project for your midterm grade. You had 2.5 weeks in class. Well, what if I do it now? I was like, no. Those natural consequence of action. You didn't do it, and so you failed. It just, I get really cranky, you guys.
I feel like this is one of the things that we've really struggled with since COVID, is because a lot of consequences were diverted just because we need to make sure we don't have everybody failing. And that turned into nobody fails anymore, or that kids can blow off entire assignments and still pass a class and move up. And so I feel like they're having a hard time dealing with consequences. Really, what did you think was going to happen when you quit making kids, do things? What do you guys think?
I was actually reading about this also on the Reddits in the professor subreddit, that professors are now starting to get a lot more evaluations saying that they're quote unquote rude and unprofessional, when really what they are is like direct, or like telling students, if you don't do this, is your consequence. Or if they tell a student, if a student asks a question, they email back and say, it's in the syllabus. People who were starting high school as we were graduating started getting more and more coddled by their parents and by the schools. And, funding is tied to graduation rates. And so, of course, we can't fail kids because we'll lose funding in some states and, all of that stuff. And so next thing you know, you have this generation of students who, in part through no fault of their own, but then in part also through fault of their own, have just kind of useless, and they don't understand natural consequences. They don't understand the way the world works, and they're really not prepared for college or the workforce in terms of like people being blunt with you. Tim Foyle?
You are masturbating so loudly.
I just pulled a piece of paper out of my shelf.
That was the loudest thing I'd ever heard in my life.
Sweet Jesus.
Am I wrong? It was so loud.
It was very loud. It was very loud.
Oh,
yeah, I was wondering what that sound was. Yeah.
It was me. Okay, guys.
It's my body. I'm not going to apologize.
Not trying to be a dick, but it sounded like crinkling loudly, like we could hear it.
I thought you were like taking some aluminum foil out and like wrapping it around, like
the microphone, or doing ASMR with aluminum foil.
I literally took a piece of wax paper out of my cabinet, put it on the counter, and then put the cornbread on it, as is seen in our forum.
That was so loud.
Well, that wax paper has some volume.
Has some attitude.
Yeah. All right. Well, I will not use. I'll edit that. Where were we? I am sorry. Was someone talking? Did I interrupt? We were talking about the consequences.
No idea.
Sparkle was
so
talking about the college level.
I was talking, but now I don't remember what I said.
All right. Hey guys, guess what?
What's up, girly pop?
We have a Patreon!
Yes, sweet.
Slay the house down boots, yes, God.
Oh, we have a Patreon, all right. Yes, that's right. For as little as $5 a month, you can sign up for our Patreon and get access to all kinds of bonus features. We have over 100 exclusive pieces of audio content, exclusive episodes that were made just for the Patreon. The most recent ones is we have an interview with Shirley Temper, and she talks about where she's been for the last year. We have one with Miss Sparkles where she does the same. And there is so much on there. So you should sign up, get your name read at the beginning of the podcast, and do it now! Woohoo!
Yay! Yay!
All right, my friends. Would you rather? Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Oh my God. I know you guys. This makes it too fucking easy. All right. So, would you rather perform in a SeaWorld show as a dolphin or sing everything? Once again, would you rather you would perform in a SeaWorld show as a dolphin or sing everything? I feel like Sparkles and Bunny would probably be singing anything anyway.
Do you even have to ask?
I want to be a dolphin.
You want to be a dolphin?
I want to be a dolphin.
I don't want to be a SeaWorld dolphin, though.
Well, it's just for a show. The implication is it's just for a show.
It does say singular. Perform in a SeaWorld show as a dolphin.
Bada bing.
I don't know, man.
Are you scared of water?
No.
But
Are you a
you'd
good
be
swimmer?
a dolphin. You be a dolphin. Don't matter. I can't swim.
No, I'd be a dolphin who lives at SeaWorld. No,
For
I'm
a
just
show.
I already sing everything, so I'm sticking with singing.
All
Fine.
right. Shirley, you're
I
going to
gotta
be a
go with what I
dolphin?
know.
I'm gonna be a
All right.
dolphin.
I do have one thing. I have been trying to work on my dolphin noise for a long time. However, my personal children and the students at
Lord.
school, when it's needed and I pull out my dolphin voice, apparently it doesn't sound like a dolphin. It might be a sheep or a goat. It's kind of like, nah, but I can't really
That
get it
does
right.
not
And so
sound
my
like a
dolphin's a
dolphin.
goat. Like, I don't know. Shirley, can you help us with the dolphin noise, please?
I don't really have one.
Oh, come on. Do you think you could do one better than my goat dolphin, my hybrid?
Yes.
Let me
I
hear
couldn't.
it. Oh my God. There we go. That was better. Bunny, do you have one? Shirley, come on.
I did. I just did it.
Well, I meant to say like Shirley,
That
like
was
don't call me.
me.
But I know I was trying to say I was like Shirley Bunny has one, not Shirley. I was you and your name.
Wax paper all over again.
I know. It's the worst. Bunny, do you have a dolphin impression?
Not at the ready, but yeah, it's a higher pitch. Elvis is where you need to go with it. Like,
I think
Oh, that's the winner.
that's a good Sparkles. Come on, help me here.
Y'all.
She's too pregnant for this.
I'm too pregnant for that.
Pull
I'm
it
not
from
being
the
a
back
dolphin
of my
noise. What are you
throat to
doing?
like the back of my jaw. So it's more like, but that feels
Oh
like
my God, what the hell is that?
It's my dolphin.
That sounds like SpongeBob.
Oh, I'm so hopeless. Well, friends, thanks for joining us for another episode of Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I thank my hosts who joined me today. Big thank you to Miss Sparkles.
Bye, y'all.
And a big thank you to Miss Shirley Kemper.
Cool.
And last but not least, a big thank you to Miss Bunny O'Hare.
thank you for having me back. It was a pleasure as always. Pop, pop.
Huzzah.
All right, my friends. Well, enjoy your nights. Everyone out there, take care of your mental health. Deep breaths, deep drinks. Cheers!
Cheers! Did you know that the actor who does Pop Pop, he's British?
Did you know
the actor's British?
Did you know he was Lee Jordan in the Harry Potter movies?
No.
Yes.
What is this witchcraft?
Literally.
Pop, pop.
Pop, pop.
Oh my God, I love that show.
I love you guys.
I have, okay, so Shirley,
He got
for college and career days, like when we're allowed to wear collared shirts with jeans, I purchased a Greendale Community College t-shirt.
Thank you for listening and joining us for another episode of Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I'd like to thank all my hosts who joined me today, Miss Shirley Temper, Miss Sparkles, and Miss Bunny O'Hare. It was wonderful, and it kind of felt nice to have all of them back in for a little bit. I have been going crazy lately. Things are tight and hectic, but things are getting better, so I'm down with that. I'm about to take a trip, and I'm sorry this didn't come out first thing Wednesday morning, but we did release a completely unedited with like an extra 30 minutes of us just bantering and being ridiculous episode on the patrons. So if you like this episode and want to hear a lot more of it, join our Patreon. It's only $5 or $10 a month. All right, my friends, take care of yourselves. Cheers!
Don't eat the crab dip.